We're going to talk today about the area and the surface area of the triangles. And if you remember yesterday, we did talk about the fact that often we are labeling the height and base of a figure rather than length and width. We talked about that length and width is okay for rectangles, but if you kind of move the shape over, push it in one direction, you really need the base and the height. Okay, so base and height is exactly what we use for triangles. So for instance, in this first triangle, this is the height, and this is the base. Okay, and the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height. So I would multiply the base times the height, and I would multiply it then again by 1/2, or I would divide by 2. I drew this other triangle here on the side because sometimes the height is not written inside the actual triangle. So in this case, this is the height, and you could see it would measure from the top of this triangle to the base. So it's saying, this is the height, but they don't put it inside the triangle. And of course, this is the base. This is the side that it is, we could turn it over and it could sit on. So I would then take 1/2 that height, which is on the side, and I would multiply it times the base. And you'll notice that in this equation, I first multiplied 1/2 times the base. In this equation, I multiplied 1/2 times the height. And it really doesn't make any difference because we have talked about in class that multiplication is associative. And commutative, I can move things back and forth and multiply in any order I want. Down the bottom here now, we have a three-dimensional shape. So we have a triangle that runs the length of this whole shape. But we are finding surface area. So we want the outside edge. Okay, so I am going to, let's take this apart. So we need to have a rectangle here. Okay, that is going to be this side of the tent. So that's going to be, let's put some numbers here. We're going to have 3 and 4, and let's have let's make this 8. And these sides here, the diagonal sides, will make them 5. So this rectangle here is actually 5 by 8. And if I look at this shape, I know that, this solid figure actually, I know that one side and the other, so there's 2 of these. There's 2 of these, one on either side. So that would be times 2. I would need 2 of those. Okay, now I have a triangle at the base, all right? That's where the tent sits, or the triangle prism. And I know that that is 4 by 8, and I only have 1. I know I only have 1 of those. But I also have 2 triangles, which are at the front and the back of the tent, and they are 3 by 4. So I'm going to use the formula I used up above, and I know that 1/2 times the height and the base are going to give me the area of that triangle. And I also know that there are 2, so I need 2 of those. Okay, so I need 2 triangles. I need a base, a bottom, where the base of the actual solid, and then I need 2 sides. So I got sides, and I got a bottom, and I have a front and back. And notice that in the rectangular prism we had 6 sides, but in a triangular prism we have only 5. So you need to make sure you're identifying those 5 and making sure that the measures you are putting in are good. I would definitely suggest drawing the shape so you are sure about what you are getting. Okay, I encourage you to go ahead and do the homework assignment, and if you have any questions, get in touch with me. Thank you.